Good afternoon. Thank you for being willing to take time out of your schedule to gather at our state capitol in a show of support for law enforcement. I'm Mike the Cop of Humanizing the Badge, and normally what you'll see of me on social media is a general mix of lighthearted humor and thick sarcasm. But every once in a while, like the moments before us now, I can set that aside in order to communicate a message that matters in a little bit more of a serious way. In today's fast-moving internet culture, finding news about the police isn't difficult. Finding negative news about the police is even easier. Ignorance, in great part, is merely a click away on the phones you have in your hands, pockets, and purses. But negativity is easy. Knee-jerk reactions require no forethought and no care. Being a voice of negativity means you never have to expand your mind or your experiences. You can simply feed off of those who, like the warm ocean waters, will feed the hurricane of hate. I know this is not because this is my area of expertise, staying positive, but because of my all too many failures at taking the easy way out. What I've found is that returning insult for insult will only lead us into two places: pride or despair. Pride and arrogance because we somehow have managed to convince ourselves that we're better than others, regardless of their actions or circumstances, or despair because we've realized that we can never truly be good enough. But thank God for the power of choice. We have a very clear, not easy, but clear opportunity to choose both how we promote law enforcement and how we respond to those who wish to spew ignorance and hatred. This will take more than just feel-good stories. It's going to require that the truth is spoken in love, even when we're in the wrong. It will require stories of both triumph and struggle as we strive to share the entire spectrum of the human experience through the eyes of law enforcement. Our choice can include blazing new paths that others fear to tread because of how difficult it may be. Our choices right now can include planting the seeds of hope for the next generations that will produce the trees that will give our children and grandchildren shade, instead of the weeds that will make their lives just more of the same. As law enforcement officers, and as those who support law enforcement officers, we can choose to circle the wagons to defend only one another, or we can put it all on the line to risk humiliation or worse as a way to show that evil can never defeat self-sacrifice. So the choice is before you and before me today. We, no matter what anyone else tells you, and no matter what pressures are pulling you in other directions, have a choice about how we will promote, defend, and grow the connection between law enforcement and its respective communities. Will you take the easy way out, or will you be a trendsetter in your community, like Jeremy, wherever he went? In my humble opinion, to focus on the negative gives the critics too much credit and too much attention. Like the great police commissioner Teddy Roosevelt said so perfectly, it is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming. But who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, great devotions, who spends himself in worthy cause, who at the best, in the end, knows the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither knew victory nor defeat. So thank you again for being those here today who are willing to strive for something better, who are enthusiastic in your support in backing the blue, who are devoted to the truth and worthy causes. Together we will not be perfect, but we will humanize the badge and be a light in dark places. Thank you.